Earlier this year, I booked a stay at the DoubleTree by Hilton in Kingston-upon-Thames, London, as part of a work trip. The hotel's location made it convenient for my meetings, but after what happened, I promised myself I'd never set foot there again. The first few days went smoothly. I attended my meetings, explored the town, and everything felt perfectly ordinary. But on the fourth day, things took a strange turn. As I headed to my room that evening, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching me. It was subtle at first, just a nagging awareness, but then I started hearing faint noises outside my door, footsteps stopping and starting, like someone hesitating just beyond the threshold. Later that day, I found a printed note slipped under my door. It looked official, complete with the DoubleTree logo, and read, "Want to skip the wait? Order room service online. Scan this QR code to get started." It seemed legitimate, so I scanned the QR code, which took me to a polished website, doubletree-roomservice.uk. The page had the same branding as the hotel, complete with a menu and login portal. Trusting it, I logged in using my Hilton Honors account and placed an order for a sandwich and a drink. The site promised delivery within 20 minutes, but after an hour passed with no sign of food, I called the front desk. To my surprise, they had no record of my order. I double-checked the website, but everything looked fine on my end. Annoyed and hungry, I decided to forget about it and went out to grab dinner elsewhere. I chalked it up to some kind of tech glitch, though the experience left me feeling a little unsettled. Later that night, something else happened. As I walked down the hallway toward my room, I noticed a man leaning against the wall. He was wearing a dark hoodie pulled low over his face, and his posture made him look like he was busy scrolling on his phone. But as I got closer, his eyes flicked up and locked onto mine. When I reached my door, he was still watching me. I froze for a moment, unsure what to do, but told myself he was probably just another guest. I quickly unlocked my door, slipped inside, and bolted it behind me. Even then, the encounter left my nerves rattled, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The next morning, I woke to an icy draft brushing across my face. Groggily, I turned to see the balcony door slightly ajar, even though I was sure I'd locked it the night before. A cold knot formed in my stomach. Trying to steady my nerves, I got up, shut the door, and scanned the room. I told myself it must have been my mistake, a moment of forgetfulness. But no matter how much I rationalized, an uneasy feeling clung to me like a shadow. The following afternoon, as I approached my room, I saw the same man from before. This time, he was sitting in the hallway, closer to my door. He kept his head down, his focus seemingly on his phone, but the tension in the air was palpable. My heart raced as I quickly unlocked my door and slipped inside, locking it behind me. It hit me then, this guy had been hanging around my door for at least 2 days. That night, the situation spiraled into a waking nightmare. Feeling drained, I went to bed early, desperate for sleep. Sometime after midnight, I was jolted awake by a faint, metallic click. It sounded disturbingly like a door unlocking. My breath caught in my throat as I lay there, listening intently. For a few seconds, there was nothing but silence, then I heard it. Soft, deliberate footsteps, inside my room. A wave of terror paralyzed me. I stayed perfectly still, my body stiff with fear, as the footsteps crept closer. My mind raced to make sense of what was happening. Was I imagining this? Or was I truly not alone? And then I saw him. Standing at the foot of my bed, his face faintly lit by the glow of his phone, was the man from the hallway. My blood turned to ice as I realized he was taking pictures. The faint snap of the camera shutter made my skin crawl. He was so close, less than 2 feet away. I didn't dare move or breathe too loudly, terrified that even the sound of my pounding heart might give me away. I lay frozen, watching in horror as he snapped another photo before calmly turning toward the door. The soft click of the door closing was the only thing that broke my paralysis. Shaking uncontrollably, I reached for my phone and dialed the police. My hands trembled so much that I almost dropped it. The officers arrived quickly, but the man was already gone. Security footage revealed he had indeed accessed my room using the hotel's mobile key feature, which he'd hacked using my Hilton Honors login from the fake room service website. Worse still, the footage showed him lurking outside my room every day, always at 3 p.m. 2 weeks later, the police arrested him for a separate crime, but what they found on his phone chilled me to my core. Among the evidence were dozens of photos, of me, of other guests, all taken inside their rooms and around the hotel. He'd been watching me, following my every move. I checked out the next morning, unable to bear another second in that room. To this day, I can't bring myself to stay in a hotel. The idea of someone standing over me as I sleep, capturing my vulnerability on camera, is a horror I'll never escape.